Hello, hello. Welcome to K&MRD Radio Stuff. My name is Mike. Welcome to the Messi and Paoloni interview. I've got Stefano Messi with me. But before we bring the man himself on, just want to mention that in the top of the live chat pinned is the YouTubers Hamfest playlist. If for some reason you're not part of it, click that and it should be redirecting you to that. And after me, I believe we got Ham Radio Adventure Guy talking about POTA roving. So I'm really excited for that. So stay tuned. And let's bring on the man of the hour, Mr. Stefano Messi. How are you, good sir? Welcome.
Hi.
Hi. That is a pretty backdrop you have there.
Oh yeah, you see, what a special cover for the bats. No, I should pay for that.
Is that going to be new in the catalog, the Messi and Paoloni sheets?
Uh, yeah. Oh
I
yeah,
love it.
yeah.
So how are you?
Yeah, something we made for the actors that are going with our cables along the world.
Yeah, you've got quite a few of those, huh?
Oh yeah. And yeah, we are sponsoring the Bouvet Island expedition,
Yeah.
sponsoring the Crozet Island expedition, and we're sponsoring the WRTC 2022 in Germany.
That's awesome.
No, 2018 it was in Germany as we were sponsored.
Yeah.
But we also sponsor in Italy. It will be held in July 2023.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
How awesome is that to have all of these great expeditions choosing your cables?
Oh, it started years ago. We made a special cable, Airborne 5. It has been tailor-made for the Italian expedition team, and they were asking for some technical features, something as bold as RG58, but with higher performance, waterproof, very lightweight. And so I just wrote down the points and I made a cable for them.
Yeah, and I got a chance to actually hold the cable. The name of it is escaping me now because we're live. What is it? The Ultra
Flex 10?
The Airborne.
The Airborne, yeah.
The really light one.
Yeah, very light one. Yeah. We got two Airbornes. You got Airborne 5 that we made for the Italian expedition team, and then we have the Airborne 10, which is bigger. It's not 0.200 like the first one. Is a 0.400.
Yeah.
And, it has been made for the Clipperton French Clipperton team.
Yeah, and that's got to be easily half the weight of a regular coax.
Look, it's not exactly it's 50% less, but anyway, just to mention something, a regular cable of our production is around 13 kilograms per 100 meter, and that is 7 kilograms per 100 meters. So people can spare 6 kilograms, which is meaning a lot of saving of money when you're shipping airborne.
Oh yeah.
And on the other hand, if you've got to carry over your head, all the stuff, if you just jump out of the boat, you have to approach the island like this, as the Clipperton team did.
Sure.
Weight counts. Weight counts a lot.
Oh yeah.
And the Clipperton team, they told me that they were able to put 400 meters. Yeah, they were carrying 100-meter rolls, and they were connecting the 100-meter rolls one by one. And so they managed to put their reception antenna 400 meters away, and we're extremely happy about that. So it works. What we have done since the early beginning is to tailor-made cables according to the customer needs. So the customers are the hams. We are nearly totally devoted to the hams, and we made quite many tailor-made cables for them.
Yeah. Now you started off. You guys have been in business for a long time.
Oh yes. It's actually my father's company, and Mr. Messi and Paoloni. There were two boys who met each other in 1944, and they were. They were in the same transmitting station when my hometown Ancona was occupied by the Allied troops, by the Allies, and they were seeking for some young people who could be suitable for working at a transmitting station. So
Mm.
they were in charge as the WT officers, and they were working in the port of Ancona, and they met each other there. They were skilled for electronics. They were repairing radios at that time, and so they started with the transmitting station. And after 2 years, in 1946, the 10th of March, they established a company. So I am the
Wow.
second generation, and there is already a third generation coming up.
Wow. That's awesome. So what's been the evolution since then?
Yes, the evolution is that after 10 years, we started becoming our representative of an Italian company who was making our antennas, everything which is strictly concerned with the reception of television. So most of our business for years and years has been in our in the television business.
Mm.
Everything which is behind the reception. And so in 1974, we started making 75 ohm cables,
Hmm.
and we kept on doing like this for years and years. We are still doing, of course,
Yeah.
but we wanted to move in the more professional side of the business. So we wanted to make a 50 ohm cables, which are specific cables for exacting people, like the hams or like
Yeah.
the industry, the shipyards, the army, the navy,
Hmm.
whatsoever. So we are now good suppliers of all these branches of the market.
Yeah. And now you're easily the biggest coaxial cable manufacturer in Europe as far as how
I
many people are using them.
Well, for what concerns 50 ohm cables, yes, I'm now
Yeah.
I've become the market leader,
Yeah.
even in Germany. Germany is my biggest market, and I managed um, to enter. Notwithstanding, was a good competition, a good domestic competition, but our range of cables, the quality standard, and the technical features, all these things together, gave me the chance to be widespread all over Europe now.
Yeah. That's great. That's awesome. And we're trying to change that here in the States.
Yeah.
And we're trying to change the vernacular from everybody says, "Oh, get LMR 400, get them all LMR 400." Everybody's just ingrained in that. And I'm trying to share with the world that, well, that was the right answer. But
Well,
now we
yes.
know there's better solutions. And that's
Look,
Messi and
look,
Poloni.
LMR is a good cable.
It's
Uh,
fantastic.
it's very popular in Europe as well. It
Yeah.
has been a reference point for so many years. It's a good stuff. It's good stuff, yes, but not always good stuff is the best one. What we are in order to be present in the market, and we had to invent more things. We had to put more particulars in the cables. More
Hmm.
features in order
Yeah.
to make them better. If the standard is good, you've got to make things better if you want to enter the market and are offering better flexibility,
Yep.
better screening efficiency, better lightweight, or let us say we wanted to listen to the hams, and the hams told us what they were needing exactly. So we made white cables for hot countries. We made
Yep.
waterproof cable to be buried, for direct burial. We made our airborne cables in order to facilitate life to the expeditioners. We are mostly famous in Europe for the flexible ones.
Hmm.
Our cables are really hyperflex or ultraflex. So
Yep.
if people are working with a rotator, that they need a flexible cable, and they need a cable
Yep.
which can withstand the many torsions that the cable can have.
Hmm.
And we are very proud that we made a half an inch, which is exactly 0.500, which
Hmm.
has got the same technical features of LMR 600 UF, which is
Yeah.
0.600,
Yep.
and is really extremely flexible. It's the only cable in the world with 37 wires in the core, and it's all copper. So let us say that we managed to do things which are more likely to be used in the very exacting markets.
The one thing that really stood out when I was really researching your cables, comparing them to others, and we've got a few questions I want to get to. Oh, Mike Kenner Connect, thank you for the $10 super chat. Love you, buddy. Um, and I believe I've said this to you before, but it's like Messi and Poloni kind of takes what the world knows about coax and manufacturing coax, and you kind of just throw the rules out the window and do your own thing, and come at it from a completely different angle. It's not like you're just creating RG8X and LMR 400 with your own name on it. You're innovating. You're
Oh,
creating
yeah, yeah.
new cables that, yeah, there's comparable ones, and people want to ask, well, what's a comparable cable? So Ham Radio for Non-Techies is asking, what is a Messi and Poloni equivalent to LMR 400? And there is and there isn't. So that would be what? The Ultraflex 10 is the solid core, right? If I'm not
No,
mistaken.
Ultraflex 10, let's say,
Or is it the
we,
Airborne
we,
10?
we can make an analysis about what we brought as innovation. Uh, uh, Talking about the Hyperflex 5, for instance, is only
Hmm.
0.2112 inches outside, so the roll diameter is 0.212,
Hmm.
and it's got even a better performance if compared to our G8X,
Yep.
which is bigger. So that is the first achievement. Without our technology, expansion technology, we're able to make cables with a smaller size, with
Yeah.
smaller roll diameter, but with better performances if compared to cables of the competition with bigger size.
Right.
This is the case of Hyperflex 5, or the case of Ultraflex 7. Ultraflex 7 is our is a tad bigger. Is a 0.287 as far as I can remember, and but has got the same attenuation up to 28 megahertz if compared to a good quality RG214U,
Yeah.
and over 28 megahertz. It's getting
Yeah.
better and better and better. The higher the frequency, the better will be the gap between the two cables.
Yeah,
And
that's quickly becoming my favorite, and I've got quite a few of your cables, but the Ultraflex 7 specifically, because to the layperson such as myself, if you're just holding it, you think you're holding RG8X, but it has the same, if not better, specifications than RG213. So
yeah,
the technology involved in your cables versus the comparison is really why, when I made that video comparing apples to apples, a lot of times you're not, because your coax is just so advanced in technology compared to the rest. And unfortunately, a lot of guys in ham don't embrace change, but I think a lot of people do, and just don't know about the name Messi and Poloni here in the States so much. So I've kind of made it a personal mission to spread the good word about Messi and Poloni, because I love your cables so much, and the technology that goes into it is just, I don't know how you do it. I mean, it's fantastic. So we got another question. We can talk all day, but I want to keep it quick. So what would you offer Richard K6 RDJ, the trucking ham? Got to hang out with him at Hamvention. Would you offer a coax for mobile installation that would be a good alternate to RG8X? What would we use for that?
I would either use Hyperflex 5, which is even better. I mean, better than our GA8 of high
Yeah,
quality our GA8X. Hyperflex 5 is
that's good to hear.
smaller and can be a tad better, and or Ultraflex 7, which is a tad bigger than our G8X,
Yep.
but is extremely good for quality overall performance. And one thing people should always remember when we are talking about HF,
Hmm.
no, the HF, the detonations are good for any cable because we are talking about low frequency, so low frequency, low losses. So quite many people they are thinking that our G214 is still up to the task. Uh,
No, you don't want to use that for mobile.
Look, it's the big difference could be reception because a good quality ERG 214 has got 55 dB of screening efficiency, while
Hmm.
our cables have got 105 dB of
Yeah.
screening efficiency. So this means that for reception, you're going to better the background noise, to lower the background noise up to even two stops. It can be one stop, it be half a
Hmm.
stop, it be three stops. Depends how much noise you have got around. So our cables, starting from the smallest one up to the biggest, have got 105 dB of screening efficiency, so are going to better your listening.
Yeah. Now, and I want to say that your website, which is Messi.it, has every specification you could ever want. Go back in my catalog and watch my reviews of Messi and Poloni. In the description, there's links to everything. If you want to fact check anything I'm saying, if you don't believe it, you can do the research yourself. But go to Messi.it. They've got data sheets on all their coax. One of my favorite things is your coax calculator, where you can compare all of your different types of cables in terms of length, heat, temperature, frequency, SWR, all that, and you can compare all the different coax and see which one is going to be best for whatever type of application that you have. So you've done a tremendous job putting out as much information and helping the consumer figure out which one of your cables they want. So I'm on that website all the time looking at. I was talking to my friend Matt last week when I was in Chicago, and we were talking about coax for a DXpedition we're doing, and we're talking about what we should use, and I'm like, well, this has this and this has that and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It's like we got to bring MD.
I've seen that you are used to the use of our calculator, and
Yeah.
I'm very glad that you like it, because it's really something we first made the project was about 4 or 5 years ago, but it was so difficult to make the integration with our website, because that is special calculator. You can make a simulation of everybody's needs according to the length, according to the frequency, according to the VSWR, the temperature, and just by placing the length from your shock to the antenna, and placing the highest frequency you're working on, we're working at. You can play with the flag between the very many cables we offer, and see which is the perfect cable for you.
Yep. I just dropped that link in the description too. So if anybody wants to check that calculator out, go have some fun.
Yeah. Yes, Messi Calc is our.
Yep.
The people should be able to find it right in the homepage.
Yep. Yeah, I just dropped a link directly to it in the chat. So now you had a video you wanted to share. You want to try and see if we can make that happen?
I'm trying. Yes. So pardon me if I'm not so good at doing this.
That's okay. I'm the worst streamer on YouTube, so it's expected.
That? Can you see?
We got a. Yep. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yep. This stuff is freaking sweet. I think the kids liked that.
Yeah.
That stuff is so cool.
Quite clear what's for, right?
I think most people got the gist of it, but why don't you explain exactly what that is and why we might want that?
Yeah. Another thing we have added, this is one of the accessory we are presenting to our customers. There are others which could be very interesting, like the special scissors we manufacture. We don't manufacture actually, but we are asked to a specialized Italian scissors maker. People who work and know how to work since tradition, the metals, and so they are nickel plated and also can be used for quite many sort of cables, starting from the biggest ones to the smallest.
Yep.
So it's just a question of knowing how to use it and taking some practice. If you're watching in our YouTube channel, there are
Hmm.
quite many videos. We've got the video for each one of our cables and each one of our connectors. So
Yep.
you can't get wrong from assembling them.
Yes.
Or you can buy the ready-made jumpers. And our ready-made jumpers have got a certificate of our test in the lab. So they are lab tested and they are made uh, to work in a durable way. Let us say that we have got another thing which might be interesting to show is our heat suppressor.
Ah, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, great. So what about the heat suppressor? Let me have the chance to share something else. Can you see the change here?
No.
No,
You
no.
probably have to create a
Yeah,
new thing
I'm
there.
not, yeah, I'm not actually very good in doing that. Okay, this is the heat suppressor. Now, not that I found it. No, no, no. Okay, look, I'm not able to do that.
That's okay. So tell people about
Oh
that
yeah,
silicone shrink that we just watched, because you teased everybody and now they want it. But
oh yeah.
what is that? Explain that.
Okay, I can try to. Oh yeah, that's it. Can you see that? Can you see?
No.
No, no. Okay, okay. Never mind. Yeah, please download our catalog and have a look at our catalog, and it is at page 27 of our catalog. So
Hmm.
it could be interesting for everybody to look to our catalog because we are not just speaking about our keyboards, we're speaking about plenty of useful things about um, the technology behind the coaxial cable and what should be known about the correct use of the coaxial cable, uh, because we understood that not many people understand that the foam polyethylene is melting at low temperature. Let us say it's 100 degrees Celsius, uh,
Hmm.
and white Teflon is melting at 3 times higher temperature. So one thing is Teflon, one thing is foam polyethylene. So any cable on the world made with foam polyethylene can melt at the low temperatures and 100 degrees Celsius. So if you try to solder with the tip of the solder with a temperature which is 3 times higher, you should be very quick in order to make the cable work properly after the soldering. So just a short time and never blow on the soldering. And as indicated in our videos, we've got quite many videos showing how to do that. But in addition to this, in that page of our catalog, we are telling to everybody what can happen to their cables if they are transmitting in continuous carrier with high power. So
Hmm.
continuous carrier, high power, and if you don't put a correct ventilation between the amplifier and the cable, that is going to be a disaster. So we made a special cable which is called Hyperflex 10 Sahara FT8, which is that's it, perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is what's above my house, boys and girls.
Yes, that's the best solution actually because
Yes.
we have got the dissipator, the heat suppressor or heat sink as you want,
Hmm.
and so by putting a little fan pointed towards the ribs of the heat sink, Then
Yep.
you can have a good cooling. And with the wide jacket, the cable won't warm up too much, especially if you are in Southern America.
Yep.
And
Well, here's a perfect question for you. Mohammed asks, KMRD, at the Arab Gulf, the temperature during summer exceeds 45 degrees Celsius. Was Messi and Poloni Coax Sahara tested in extreme hot countries? I think you have the greatest answer for this, Stefano.
oh yes, that's a great question. No, it has not been tested yet, because it's brand new. So it has been made just a few months ago. It's less than 1 year old, and let us say that uh, the black cable PVC, they have got a special UV filter which is called carbon black. This carbon black is an inexpensive filter, which is making the cable resistant to the sun, but not resistant to the heat. I mean, in our catalog there is a table with the coefficients. You have to multiply in order to calculate how much worse is going to be the attenuation with a higher frequency on the cable. So if we are heating the cable with a high amplification, and at the same time we have got a cable which is subject to direct sunlight, especially in the Emirates. You have got a very hot sun, so you should never expose a cable to the direct sunlight in any case. So if you have the black cable is going to be 5, 6, or 7 degrees Celsius higher than it should be, just because of the direct sunlight. When you are at 104 degrees Fahrenheit in the shade, or 40 degrees Celsius, you are in the shade, but the cable isn't. So let us say, yes, reality, the Sahara versions have not been tested with extreme sunlight. But what is sure that your cable is going to be much cooler than if compared to a black one. So,
You developed this cable because you were getting calls from people in the Middle East about heat, weren't
oh,
you?
oh yes. But the great thing is that when we made this cable, it was for a guy who wanted to transmit with FT8 at 1 kilowatts. And yeah, no, normally FT8 is going to be used at power, low powers, and 1 kilowatts is too much. He had a 2 kilowatts amplifier, and the amplifier was reducing automatically by half its power because FT8 has a very special waveform. So very special waveform means that it's going to stress everything much more quickly because let us remember it's a continuous carrier, and with this special waveform is going to overheat everything. So the amplifier is auto protecting by halving the power, but the cable cannot do it. So we made this cable expressly for keeping the temperature cool. So we had a thermal camera, and it was testing with the black cable and with the white cable, where we also made a modification to the braid. We have halved the outer conductor resistance of the braid. So we have halved the conductor resistance. We have put the wide jacket, so the cable was going to be 5, 6 degrees Celsius lower temperature if compared
Yeah.
to the black cable. So I think we did a very good job for that.
I think you did too. Stefano, we got 1 minute left. You got any closing statements you'd like to say? Oh, never pay full price for Messi and Poloni Coax. You can either get it from Gigaparts with my link. I'll put them in the description after this. Or if you buy directly from Messi and Poloni, use code KMRD, you can get 5% off. So, yes. And Gigaparts should have their stock when?
Oh, look, they made a very big order, and I
Yep.
think it's about to arrive in a week. Yeah, I
Okay.
think within a week they would have a big stuff, and we made an agreement during a Dayton exhibition that they will be buying much more frequently
Yeah.
small orders because I told them you should never run out of stock, and whatever
Yeah.
you need,
Yeah.
you should go and make an inquiry directly.
Well, people want it. And that is our 30 minutes, Stefano. Thank you so much. It's always a privilege talking with you.
Oh, yeah,
And thanks for coming on, and thanks everyone for watching. Stay tuned for Ham Radio Adventure Guy coming up next. 73, guys.